Many times we have made decisions predicated upon the feeling of the heart. You go to a man's house, you see how the places were set up. You have the best of furniture. You have great and awesome things. So your heart begins to decide, I wish for this man to be my husband. She's got money. Look at the carpet. Six-inch deep, wall to wall. Look at the furniture, Italian. The chandeliers are all there. Just like in the garden when the woman saw the fruit. Never looked at it beyond the sight. To see the spiritual implication. She was attracted just to look at it and make a decision predicated upon what the eyes could tell her. So you decide that this man should be my husband. You go and begin to break the news to one of your best friends. Hey, baby, guess what? He said, tell me the story. You know this guy I met? And she took me out and I went to her house. Oh, incredible. I've never seen such a house before. But do you know who he is? He might be a criminal. He might be a thief. He might be a drug pusher. He might be somebody who launders money. But because you did not think beyond what your heart was feeling, you end up one day in the arms of this man, and guess what? The rest of your life you become a slave. The marital separation. When David fled from Saul's ambush, Michal was taken and given to another man as his wife. 2 Samuel 3:13 through 16. For 8 to 10 years, the lovers remained separated. There is no indication that they ever saw each other during this period. Now let us look at the marital reunion. The reunion of David and Michal occurred after King Saul's death. This reunion brings into sharp focus the bitterness that had developed during the separation. The bitterness would soon lead them into another separation. After Saul was killed, his throne was passed on to his surviving son. But there would never again be the unity and allegiance that Saul had enjoyed, according to 2 Samuel 3:1. Finally, negotiations were successful, and the two warring parties, King Saul's troops and David's troops, were united. 2 Samuel 2:12. The number one condition in David's negotiations was the immediate return of Michal to him. 2 Samuel 3:13. No doubt, the memories of his first love were fondly treasured in his mind. The reunion officially took place in Hebron. After 10 long years of separation, David was about to meet the wife of his youth. Can you imagine how David felt as he was waiting for Michal? He was about to be reunited with his first love, with a woman who had protected him in spite of personal danger. His expectations must have been high, but they were about to be dashed in pieces. Things had drastically changed over 10 years, and the two young lovers were very, very much different. Let's now look at the marital differences. Differences existed between David and Michal when they first met and married. These had seemed so small and insignificant. While the two were the same outwardly, they had drastically different values, and these had become concrete during the 10-year period of separation. We don't understand why God commands us not to marry unbelievers. Now, I hold the view, even within the ecclesiastical forum, if you marry a woman, a man whose belief and convictions in the Christian doctrine is not the same as yours, it will create a barrier in the future. You see, the Christian values are predicated upon the convictions that you hold. culture. Christianity is the apex of all culture. God designed man, gave you his word, that every facet of your life would be conducted and determined by the premise of Scripture from Genesis to Revelation. Your thought pattern, your dress codes, your language, your attitude, disposition to reactions, your preferences, inclinations, even the careers that you want to pursue, the man and the woman that you want to marry, they should be looked through the eyes of the Scriptures in order to bring validity and God's approval to all these things. You can never subscribe to the Christian convictions and yet make choices that have got no relativity to what the Bible declares. Many of you here have entered into careers and vocations and marriages even though you are Christians, but when it came to those arenas, you never made reference to what the Scripture says. It's easy to say Jesus is the Lord of your life, but is he the Lord of your home? Is he the Lord of your decisions? Is he the Lord over the choices that you make? Even when you want to marry, do you consult him? Or you allow your personal feelings and experiences to choose for you a man and a woman, and yet at the end of the day you say, the Lord is my master. And when the marriage doesn't seem to work, then you put the burden on Jesus. If he wasn't in the beginning, he can never join you in the interim.